Hey everybody, Super Conference Commissioner Tyler Burkhardt here for the summary of Week 3 and looking into Week 4 here for the Super Conference. Here are the updated power rankings. As you can see, Seattle for the third, fourth straight week in a row now has the #1 spot, as Minnesota claims the second spot after a Portland loss. However, if you want a tip as far as how to move up the rankings, just follow what the New York Yankees have done. They've won 3 straight matches and are now have gone from the bottom to third in the power rankings. So great job for them, definitely the winner. Losers probably this week were New York Blackout and San Diego, as they both fell quite a bit. Los Angeles I would also consider a winner, moving up several spots after a great week. So here are the updated power rankings. Still, we have a fairly good contribution or equality, I would say, among the conferences. West has 3 in the top 8, but other than that, pretty equal among the conferences after 3 weeks. So now, as far as some awards to give out. First of all, as many of you know, I was going to give out 5 points each week to the person that predicts the most points or most winners for that week. 2 people got 7 of the 8 matches right. That was Los Angeles, Nate, that was, and San Francisco, which is Josh. My tiebreaker is going to be if you predict, if you get the winner right and the least amount of people predict that game is kind of the tiebreaker. So for instance, Josh is actually the winner this week because he predicted a matchup where only 4 people got it right. So whoever predicts a matchup with the lowest amount wins. I think the lowest amount for Nate was 6. 6 people predicted a winner to win that actually won, while Josh got a matchup with only 4 people getting it correct. So Josh wins the tiebreaker, he'll get the 5 points, and we'll see what goes on next week. So very happy to see 12 people participating in that. We'll go further to the awards. Manager of the Week will go to Nate Burkhardt for the Los Angeles Seismic Quakes. Not only putting up the most amount of points in Week 3 with 124, but he had some really good players. I like the tight end Tony Moinaki on the Chiefs, who was the first week he played him this week. He scored a touchdown and 44 yards, so that was a great addition there. And then he also picked up Lance Moore, who any receiver that can receive for 170 yards or so is a great add. So looking good, Los Angeles finally getting a win and moving up in the power rankings. So that is the Manager of the Week. Move of the Week is between Minnesota and San Antonio with the trade. San Antonio needed to improve its depth at running back, trading Bradshaw and getting McFadden and Jackson. Meanwhile, Minnesota, who had the running back depth, now has Bradshaw, a better back that you can consistently play. They also swapped quarterbacks with Schaub and Manning, or Eli Manning as well. I'm a little surprised, Brian. I never thought you were going to get a trade in this year, but you managed to do so, and it was pretty fair too. So I give you props for finally finding a pretty fair trade to pass. So that will be the move of the week between San Antonio and Minnesota. So. Okay, with that being said, let's take a look at Week 4 and see the matchups and who's going to win. First of all, I look at New York Blackout versus Washington, and I'm not going to be an idiot. I'm actually going to pick New York here. I think this is going to be a close matchup. The reason why I'm not going to go with myself and take the Blackout, though, is I like the matchup with Rivers against Arizona. He's good for a few touchdowns there. Jennings against Detroit, he could score a few there. And Jones-Drew, I think, is game for a big day. So I like that matchup. I'm going to also go with Green Bay over Cleveland. Another team in the AFC West winning. For Green Bay, Rodgers against Detroit, Michael Turner against San Francisco, and Mendenhall for Cleveland is playing Baltimore. So that's really his only huge fantasy stud. And with him out, he's going to have to rely on Vic on a lot of points. I'm going to go with LA over San Francisco. After scoring 124 points, I think he'll keep the momentum running. This is kind of San Francisco's we're going to suck it up week. He's got Jamal Charles out with a bye. and Des Bryant, so kind of lacking some depth there with the starters, and I like LA's matchups there. Kind of an upset, I don't know. I'm going to go with San Antonio over San Diego. This is almost the game of the week, just because both of these teams I think really need a win. But I'm going to pick San Antonio just because Miles Austin has a bye for San Diego, and Matthews isn't in the best health. Also, I do like Brandon Jackson actually this week, his newly acquired running back against Detroit. I'm going to go with Indianapolis against Kiln. This was also almost made game of the week. There's a matchup that I like better. For Indianapolis, I'm not so much picking them because I like them. It's because right now we don't have a defense or a kicker in for Kiln. So if maybe he fills those gaps, I might be more lenient to go with Kiln. I'm going to go with the Yankees over Minnesota. Great game this week. Still, I like one better. But Minnesota without Adrian Peterson, I cannot make that game of the week. And Peyton Manning and Dallas Clark against Jacksonville, I think a huge week for the Yankees. Now the game of the week, Seattle versus Portland. Last week's 1 versus 2 teams. I'm not going to bet against Chris Johnson. Never, never. I will go with Seattle. Like them. Also McCoy against Washington. I don't care if you have Elber Hainsworth. I like McCoy as well against that matchup. Also Portland only has Arian Foster really going. Now with Hightower getting a lot less carries because of Wells back. And Tolbert, I'm not sure if he's going to play or not, with Matthews possibly back. So you got to go with Seattle. And then finally, Oakland over Fargo. Where are you, Oakland? There. Fargo, very close. I feel like all your games are going to be really close this year, Fargo. But I got to go with Steven Jackson is going to be the determinant factor. If he plays, Oakland wins. If he doesn't play, then Fargo wins. So keep his status, or an update on his status, and we'll see what happens. Otherwise, that's your Week 3 recap. Good luck to all the managers for Week 4, and game on.